What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and today we're going to be talking about a new addition to my MUT team, which is Travis Kelce. Now, looking at his card, you can see visibly that he has dual chems right there. I don't recommend everyone doing it the same way that I did it. I did it this way because it fits what I'm trying to do. Okay, so pretty much what happens is this, right? I got him with Go Deep and I got him with Power Run. Now, you guys might ask, you know, why? Why would you do that? Let me explain this, right? He's one of the he's a very, very interesting tight end because he's one of the few that has the ability to have the elite route specialist chem. If you guys don't understand about what elite route specialist is, it just gives you a little bit more variety of hot routes so that you don't have only the basic streak, slant, stuff like that. You have more exquisite routes, out and ups, deep crosses, things like that, that you can utilize with any player position. Now, whether he's in the slot or the outside, that also changes. But I just wanted to point that out so you guys understand what's going on with that. He's one of the few. So that's a huge addition to my squad if I decide to spend the training points for that. Now, at this point, I'm not really utilizing him for that. I'm utilizing him more for his run block and stuff like that. But I'm just pointing out that he has that ability because the Go Deep adds the deep route running and stuff like that to his card. Beat press. Those things make him a little bit more unstoppable if I need him to get open and go down the field. All right. Now with Power Run, this is where it's glitchy because I could easily, with the way that I have this, right, where I'm adding his additional chem, I could easily add sprinter to him and give him the +1 speed. But that's not what I care about as far as his position goes. So that doesn't apply to what I'm trying to do, which is why I also gave him the Power Run. Now looking right there, I prefer my tight end to have that stiff arm, that impact block, and that lead block more than the other things. Now, the truck, the run block power, that's all good too. Break tackle, those things are all good, right? But when the way that I run the ball, if I decide to run the ball, I need my offensive line and my tight ends to be very, very sufficient in holding blocks. Now, I've already tested him out, and I can't believe that I waited this long to get this card. Even though I was able to snipe him pretty cheap for 300K, I still should have gotten him a lot earlier when I realized that, you know, that specific things work the way that they work in this game. For instance, the lead block, right? Last year when you had like lead the way and all those chems, it didn't work. Actually, lead the chem last year made the guy that was supposed to be getting blocked smash your quarterback in the face before he even handed the ball off. That's how broken it was. But this year with the lead block and also the lead the way that some of the linemen may be able to get, it actually gives you a little bit more emphasis with running the ball. Okay, so that's why he has those dual chems right there instead of like with the way that I have everybody else that I have at my skill positions, adding the sprinter is because of that. Now he's a threat both ways. Now, you can't really see it the way that it is right there. So we're going to go to the screen where you can actually see it. You know, we could look at the way that it upgrades him, his card and everything else like that. All right, so you got the 81 strength. That 81 strength is being added because I believe we have like a total of, we have over 5 Kansas City Chiefs players. So the first thing you get is strength. As a matter of fact, we're going to back out of this and I'm going to go to the bigger screen so you guys can see it a little bit more clearly because, like, you know, with the way they have the graphic on it's so small on the left side, we're going to get it a little bit bigger right now. Blade Bortles, you garbage. Tim Brown, you garbage. All right, good. You guys sold. All right, so now let's go over to the item binder and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this card more in depth right here. Okay, so where are you, Travis Kelce? You're a 93. All right. Here we go. Now, that looks a lot better for me on my screen. 81 strength, 96 spec catch, 94 catch in traffic, 92 catching, 90 short route, 88 medium route run. Okay, so look, let me explain what all those things just meant. If you come out and you run a post route with Travis Kelce as opposed to another tight end that says, you know, maybe he has low 80s or 70s in route running, it's not going to be the same. This is one of the first years I can actually, I can actually say, EA made it so that the tight ends don't move like all of them usually moves. Like in past Maddens, the routes that they ran, they would all run it the same way, no matter what. The people are like, yeah, bro, you need this route running, you need this. No, you didn't. All you had to do is just have a tight end out there, a random guy. He's going to run it the same way. This year, if you have a dude that's running an out route, he's a tight end, and his medium route run and short route run is kind of garbage, he's not going to run that route properly. And when you throw it, it's going to always more than likely be picked. Possibly for 6, and then they're probably going to pick your moms up at 8, and they probably won't be late. A lot of those things will happen and transpire during that time. So that's why I want to make sure you guys understand that. This card, I played like 3 or 4 games with him, right? and I was able to see a lot of different blocking mechanics. If that makes any sense, like the way that they hold blocks, the way that they do things is a little bit different with the way that this game is. And I saw a lot with that 82 run block. Like, look, this is it right here, right? When I compare him to OJ Howard, you can see all those other things are all cammed up, whatever. Where's the run block? You see how his OJ Howard has a 65 and Kelce has an 82. So that's a big difference, right? That's not the bigger issue, though. That's not what this is about. Let me explain to you what's going on. Because OJ Howard is also pretty good because he has good impact block. So you don't necessarily always need to have the high run blocking or whatever, but you got to have good impact block. Because if you don't, they're not going to be able to do anything. And you can see like it's 80 right there and it's 80 there. That's the majority of what separates a lot of other cards from these two cards right here. They are able to hold blocks longer because their impact blocking is pretty decent. Now the lead block, I believe on both of them is pretty low, but the tight ends don't usually have. What is his beat press? He got an 87. This guy has a 71. Yo, bro. I can't with this guy, OJ Howard. But it doesn't matter. Now, let's take a look at some other factors that makes him a lot better. Okay? Run block power. That 83. Also, with the linemen, when you get like closer to 90s or you're above the 90s, you also notice that difference when they hold their blocks as well. Now, if you want to get glitchy, you can try to do the aggressive, be aggressive with the blocking. You're going to get holding a lot more because the patch actually fixed it and fine-tuned it. Certain times you can have it on with running plays for a very long time and they never get a holding call if you're lucky. But for the most part, you will get that call eventually and it will screw your team over. All right, just so we could point that out. All right, so you look at his run block power, you see what's going on. His run block finesse is an 80 also. Pass block power, they're probably about the same over there, but I'm not really worried about them with the pass blocking because usually I send them out on routes. Right here, the lead block, right? That's pretty low. I think Gronk is actually lower than that, but that's pretty good for a tight end. That's actually pretty good. Like when I was evaluating all the tight ends that were available before I decided to go with Kelce, I was looking at the way that the lead block stacked up. And that's pretty good. The way that works out for you is very, very good when it comes to Travis Kelce. So he adds a different dimension because he's a dual threat. He has all that beat press. He has all those route running things. And, it makes it very, very difficult for like a normal idiot that you play online to come out and just run cover 4 stock. You can't really get away with that anymore. All right. Now, I want to point out something else because I know that some of you guys had already had Tony Gonzalez. Okay, they had him as a legend a while back, and you were able to power him up. It was a lot of different things that you guys did. After I put out a video about trying to use his free card to power him up and stuff like that, a lot of you guys went that route. Okay, and you got Tony Gonzalez, and you have him powered up. And I know you might be asking me, Gmias, what do I do with this? I already have Tony Gonzalez. Why would I get this guy? That's a very good question. Okay, the answer is you have to decide what works best for you. Okay, you have to make sure that you understand that. Now, when you look at this card, before you power up Tony Gonzalez, this is what you're going to get. I can actually go to his card and let you guys see his full power up because I played the solo, so I have the power up. I don't think I sold it. When you look at these cards, right, I could possibly get Tony Gonzalez and replace the other tight end that's the third string on the squad, but why would I do that? I don't want to spend unnecessary coinage, and even when I run iPro, I got a very, very good running back. I have a very, very good tight end. Obviously, my new one is Kelce, and I got Devlin. So if I run a single back set where I have excessive amounts, which I don't usually do. See, if I was coming out, or if you guys do that, if you come out in like those heavy tight end sets, I would rock with all these guys right here. I would rock with Tony Gonzalez, Kelce, and then, obviously I have Tyreek Hill and I have Pat Mahomes. I would just rock like straight Chiefs, straight Chiefs Nation. But if you already have this guy and you're wondering if you should break him down and then sell him back and then get Kelce, looking at the cards, remember, he's not powered up. Gonzalez is not powered up right now. All right, I just want to point that out to make sure you guys understand that. He's absolutely not powered up, so it might be a little bit off, but from what you're seeing right now. This is the interesting thing about this, though. If I were to get the Tony Gonzalez and have him there also, it would make my team a whole lot better. Again, because the run block, and say for instance you want to high pass somebody in the red zone. These two guys right here at the tight end position, this would make somebody it'll be a nervous breakdown for them. Because if you come out in certain sets and they have to play the run, and you have these two big guys going out there to get those high passes, it's going to be very, very crazy because the spec catch is that high. So when I have Randy Moss out there, right, people expect you to be, burning them, whatever like that. These guys go out there, you're just high passing. And once you start high passing, that's what makes it very, very dangerous with both these guys. Should you have both? I don't think so. I don't think you necessarily need it. But if you were one of those individuals that was like, yo, Gmias, shout out for the video. I got that Gonzalez. I powered him up. I got him to a 90 or whatever he is. You may be saying now, all right, Gmias, you got this guy. What's going on? That's the situation. I prefer Kelce over Gonzalez. Like I said, I'm at the point right now because I had a really good pack from Weekend League, placing in the top 100. So I got my coins up a little bit. I was able to go ahead and just dive into Travis Kelce. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I didn't literally dive into it. For all of you guys that are going to be trying to make ridiculous comments out of that, I dove into buying the card. Okay, and I'm very, very happy that I chose to do it. And going forward, looking at this right here, man, let's just check out some of the other things that he got going on. I really, really like that spec catch. And some of you guys may be asking, yeah, Gmias, why do you care about the spec catch so much? The spec catch is useful whenever you're going to do a high pass. Like if you do a high pass and your guy has low spec catch, he usually won't go for the ball. You know what's weird about that as well? You see how EA Sports announced the thresholds for, getting user picks and stuff like that? I think that there's a threshold for that, for them jumping for the high passes. Because in some cases, they won't even jump. I don't know if you guys have noticed that because I've been going through a lot of different simulations. And I noticed that in certain cases, when your guys have low spec catch, they won't jump for the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like O.J. Howard wasn't really jumping. Tony Gonzalez would jump, and so will Kelce now. They'll jump more than that guy. And that also applies for your wide receivers. The higher the spec catch, the more likely they are to jump. So this guy, when you go ahead and you try to go all the way down and you see exactly what's happening, I believe that their lead block and their impact block is pretty much the same. Yeah, 75, 77, that's not it. Okay, that's not it, Chief. All right, so where we going here? We got the beat price, he's at 83, but he would definitely go up with the we would probably see, that's another thing. We can't put dual chems on Tony Gonzalez, so he can't get the best of both worlds. So we would probably have to give him power run. His lead block is 72. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But he has low run block finesse and he has low run block power, but his lead block is really high. 72 for a tight end is really good. So like I said, those are just some things that I would want you guys to, try to look at and see what's going on. You can see some people are already somebody purchased them already, and they probably see that there's a capability with him to be able to utilize some of those things. But still, all in all, Travis Kelce is the better tight end, and he also gives you the 3 times Kansas City Chiefs chem, which will probably come into handy a little bit more down the line. So that's where I'm going with it, and that's how I decided to do it. Whether or not you decide to go that same route is up to you. But you see the dual chem, it makes him very glitchy. That was Jalen Ramsey's power up, by the way. I pulled it out of a pack. Just so you guys say, like, bro, did you just really sell Jalen Ramsey for that much? No, I didn't rage sell him. I'm not that crazy. All right, so that's pretty much where we are right now. If you have any other questions about, the upgrades to my team and why I did certain things, feel free to leave it in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, unless somebody else already answers it, which the community that we have on this channel about helping each other is very, very good. We're getting some insight into Madden 19. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to GmiasWorld Podcast and GmiasWorld Gaming on YouTube. And I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.